Hey guys, welcome back. I just first wanted to say thank you so much for the kind comments you left in my previous video, BookTube Newbie Tag. They were really inspirational. They really kind of lit the fire in me to continue making more videos and communicating and talking with everybody in the community. I wasn't really aware of how big this community is, but it's really nice to see how genuinely just gracious everybody is. So it's May, and it's time for my May TBR. I have a few books, but definitely not as big as some of the people that I've seen out there. You know, here we go. The first book is Born a Crime, Stories from a South African Childhood by Trevor Noah. Obviously, from the title you can tell it's a memoir of Trevor Noah's life. It's filled with a lot of different stories from his childhood as well as his adult life. I've seen this recommended around YouTube, but I was primarily drawn to it from Audible, and it recommended based off of some of my other readings, like Warren Buffett and stuff like that. The cool thing is a lot of books like this are read from the writers themselves, or the people that it's about. Not in the case of Warren Buffett. His book was read and written by somebody else. But Trevor Noah does a really good job reading this book. So I've heard through the preview. So I'm really looking forward to this book. The next book is called Cut Purse. It's from the Privateer Tales series by Jamie McFarlane. It's book number 6. Kind of short, really a filler piece. It's about a boy and his little sister and their adventures into trying to escape their lives that they've been trapped in for so long, and how they eventually try and seek freedom. It'll be interesting how they tie it in with the Privateer Tales series. I don't know if they're going to meet up with Hoffman or not, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what this short story has to offer. The next book is called For We Are Many, from the Bobbyverse, I like to call it Bobverse, series by Dennis E. Taylor. I've been looking forward to this book for months. So excited to see this come out. I've had to wait because obviously I can only listen to Audible books. So I'm sure I could have bought the Kindle edition first or something like that. But I'm so excited for this book. The series itself is about a guy that wins the lottery and eventually sells his body to be preserved for when they eventually hit the singularity of being able to put human consciousness into robot bodies. Unfortunately, something happens. I don't want to give too much away. This is obviously spoiler free. Eventually wakes up to be the property of a company, turning him into an AI that will run a ship sent out to the galaxy to seek out habitable planets. and all of the complexities that go on with finding yourself to no longer be alive. What does it mean to be an AI? How can you cope with that sort of thing? So again, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm going to, love every single moment of this. I love the first book, so this next book is going to be amazing. This next book is called Halo Krypton by Greg Bear. It's a part of the Halo series. I was sort of drawn into this because I played, when I could, I played the original Halo games. I was really interested in finding out a lot of the origins of many of the characters that were in the original games. So based on the audio sample, this book seems like it's really going to be complex, and I'm going to have to read it a few times over and over again. I really hope not. I really like simple, easy reads. But I'm kind of excited to see if 343 Studios was involved in the writing and, getting to kind of get into the universe after the games. So I'm looking forward to that. The next book is called Spec Ops by Craig Allenson. It's a part of the Expeditionary Force series. This is book 2. This is where a sergeant and an AI eventually set out into the world, the galaxy, trying to find the friends or creators of this overly intelligent beer can, as the book likes to call it. So it's the first book was really funny. It really got me going, actually laughing out loud a few times. The interactions between the two main characters are hilarious. So they're out in the universe trying to stay hidden while finishing their mission. In the original books, a hamster race targets Earth and destroys a lot of the infrastructure and pretty much sets us back quite a few decades. But eventually a lizard race comes in and saves the day, tries to help rebuild some of our lost infrastructure. But there seems to be kind of a hidden, hidden agenda behind their helping us out. So this second book is kind of them trying to find us out and all that. I hope that's not too spoilery. It's really hard for me to kind of give the story, what the plot, and get people into a book without, giving too much of it away. But I really enjoyed the first book, so the second book I'm looking forward to, and hopefully I can finish with a lot of the other books that I've got in line. This next book is called Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel. It's the first book in a series. A little girl kind of falls into a hole, discovering some ancient technology that, will essentially change the world and lets the world know that there's, we're not alone, and all the usual sci-fi stories that involve ancient technology. The really interesting thing is this story is not done in the standard first-person model. It's done all through interviews and news clippings and news reports, and it it's really quite unique in how it eventually plays the plot out. Um, so I'm really looking forward to reading that and seeing if that style of storytelling really works out. I'll definitely be letting you guys know along the way if it works out. This next book is called Scorch Trials. It's the second book in the Maze Runner series by James Dashner. If you've read the first books, you'll know that it's a group of young adolescent kids being tested to come up with a cure for a illness that has rocked the world, and in this case they are trouncing through the desert and need to reach a particular point where they're promised the cure, but so it's pretty much all of the different situations and trials that they go through along the way. Again, it's another sci-fi genre. I promise I will eventually get other types of genres in there. I do have some fantasy books kind of in my wish list that I haven't included in this TBR, but as for now, a lot of my stuff is sci-fi based. Lastly, this book is called Breakthrough by Michael C. Grumley. It's the first book in this series about some scientists that have discovered the ability or have created a software that can understand dolphins, which is amazing. That would be the highlight of the century if we eventually were able to communicate with the second most intelligent mammal on the planet. The stories they would tell. But the side effect of being able to communicate with dolphins is learning what they know. And they find out that there is a deep, dark secret at the bottom of the ocean that needs to be dealt with and is causing environmental havoc on the entire planet. So it's about, the government and, the scientists battling it out, trying to figure out what to do with this impending danger. I've already started it, a little bit, and it's really interesting, and excited to finish the rest of it. Alright, so that's it for this month's TBR. If you want to follow along, be sure to subscribe and like if you liked the video, dislike if you didn't. Follow me on social media to kind of get my thoughts and opinions on the book that I'm currently reading, and give me your thoughts on some of the books that I've listed. I really would like to know what you thought of some of these books, or give me some recommendations of memoirs or other science fiction books that are out there. Go ahead and list some fantasy. I'll try to dip my toe into fantasy a little bit and give it a try. I'm a little scared. I'm not really into the whole vampire werewolf type thing, so if you've got some really good fantasy options, let me know. Also, I'm going to be starting a Patreon page. I really kind of need help paying for some of the books that are in my wish list that I want to be able to read, and I need help kind of funding my escapism lifestyle. So if you could be so kind as to support me over there, that'd be great. If not, your support here, subscribing, is just as good. So until next time, keep living between the lines.